cause I did it my way, nothing y'all can say. In this life or the next one, watch me, I'ma be the best of others. I am what I am today, cause I did it my way, nothing y'all can say. In this life or the next one.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back from South Beach. The Compass Retreat was fire off the hook. I'll get into that another time, but this week, keeping it real on the deal. Every other week, I do a little tidbit on keeping it real, something that happened in real estate or some advice. This week, what I like to talk about is the market is changing. The environment is changing. And buyers and sellers need to understand. And as agents, we need to educate our buyers and sellers, because if we don't educate them up front, these deals are going to blow up and cancel. And we're seeing a lot of that now because a lot of the agents don't have experience in shifting markets. They've either they've had experience in the extreme seller's market where a seller dictates everything and says, take it or leave it. And a buyer is so desperate to buy a house, they go, okay, got to just do it, bend over and take it. Well, those days are over. And both sides have to really be mindful and considerate of what they're asking for and what their expectations are. Of course, every buyer wants to get the best deal possible, and every seller wants to get as much money in their pocket as possible. That's granted, but you got to think about the environment we're in now. If you're a buyer, you got to think about what's going on, and do you have a little more leverage or not? It depends on the price point, depends on the neighborhood, depends on the house, depends on what's going on with the seller, also depends on how clean are your terms, also depends on what happened in those inspections. If the inspections are relatively clean and you're just going to come up with some bogus, hey, I need $100,000 or $200,000 discount because I'm a buyer and it's not a hot seller's market anymore, odds are that deal's going to blow up. And vice versa. If you're a seller and you need a new roof and the sewer line's cracked and the chimneys are damaged, yet you're saying, hey, it's as is, I'm not giving you anything, I accepted a price lower than I wanted. Well, sorry, sellers. The world has changed. Just because you had an expectation of a price doesn't mean that you should shut out the buyer and say it's as is, unless you want the thing to blow up. So this is where agents have to earn their money and really dig into their experience, and you got to be emotionally intelligent, and it's a lot of psychology and hand-holding, yes, but you got to educate your clients up front before they get into the deal, what their expectations should be, what is reality in this particular situation, and each case is different. So, we are talking generalities here, but each case is different. You got to calibrate what's going on specifically to your deal and the personalities you're dealing with. But most importantly, be a good agent, educate your clients, set realistic expectations, guide them, and have some control so clients don't go buck wild, which always ends up in a cancellation and a big waste of time and energy for everybody. I'm out. See you next week.
I am what I am today, cause I did it my way, nothing y'all can say. In this life or the next one, watch me, I'ma be the best of others.